Hello sweet angels, it is time for another video, and today's video is going to be my top 10 favorite horror movies video. Now I seen where my best friend Ashley was making her own top 10 favorite movies video with Disney movies, and I really wanted to make one of my own, except mine's going to be my top 10 favorite horror movies plus a bonus 3 because I could not choose. I have way too many favorites. And I'm sure most of you guys know by now like half of my favorite horror movies if you've been watching my channel for a while now, but there are some that I haven't mentioned, and I would really like to make this video just to kind of, favorite them from least favorite to top favorite. So I'm going to start out with my bonuses. Number 13 would have to be Shudder. I'm pretty sure that this started out as a Japanese horror movie. They made an American version of this movie. Just the way that she would kind of like hunker on his back and his neck would hurt all the time, and the way that she would show up in his pictures was just really freaky to me. And just any girl with long black hair and a white gown is freaky to me. I don't know why. It just freaks me out so much. And I've always found Japanese horror movies to be even freakier than American horror movies. So if you haven't seen this movie, you should definitely go check it out. It's really good and worth a watch. Number 12 is The Boogeyman. Now, I only like the first one only because I feel like the other ones just kind of stray off from the storyline of the scary movie, and it makes it a lot less scary because they kind of take the boogeyman part out of it. But the first one I thought was really good and really scary, and it's just the way that like every time he turned the lights out, that thing would come and try dragging him into his closet. Like, that was really freaky to me, and it freaked me out a lot when I was younger. So, and not to mention that the guy that was in the first one was extremely hot, so that's another reason to like that movie. But I thought that it was really good, and I really enjoyed this one. Okay, so number 11 is going to be The Exorcist. I know a lot of people didn't like this movie because they said that it was way too cheesy for them, which is okay. I get that, but I've seen this movie and I enjoyed it so much. I just feel like it's a classic horror movie, and something about Reagan is just a classic horror movie character. And how can you be a horror fan and not like The Exorcist? Like, just something about the way that they did her makeup and the way that she acted in the movie, and just the fact that that could happen in real life makes this movie like really scary to me. Now we're getting into the top 10. So number 10 on my list is The Houses That October Built. Now, this movie was on Netflix, I think, originally, and that's where I seen it too. I was suggested by my friends from the Dead Zone, and my best friend Ashley told me to watch this movie. And this is another movie that a lot of people don't like, but I watched it and I thought it was really good. I'm sorry if I say that a lot throughout this video, but I thought that it was genius. Like, the way that they did the storyline, I thought it was a unique and different way of going about things. And I am a haunter myself. I do haunted houses in the Halloween season, so I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was really creepy, and I just enjoyed everything about it. And certain mockumentaries are really good, and I thought this was definitely one of them. So if you haven't seen that movie, you should definitely go on Netflix and check that out because it's really good. Number 9 on my list is going to be The Ring. Like I said before, I think that Japanese horror movies are way more scarier than like American horror movies, and this one also started out as a Japanese horror movie and they made an American version of it. And it's just something about girls with long black hair and white gowns that freaked me out, and I think that all came from her, because like the way she would come out of your TV and like you never seen her face until like she was getting ready to kill you. Like, that was just so freaky to me, and I think that this is also a classic horror movie. Like, just the way that she pulled people into the TV with her, and the way that she would climb out of your TV screen, like, oh my god. Oh my god. It's really freaky the first time that I seen it. Number 8 on my list is going to be Creepshow 1 and 2. I like both of them. This has always been a favorite scary movie of mine. I think that I seen these when I was a really small child, which I don't know what my parents were thinking letting me watch these, but I really enjoyed them, and I thought that they were really creepy. Just the way that they go about things. I think that this is my favorite Stephen King movie because I like the whole different story type thing, and just the special effects and everything about that was so creepy. I think that Tom Savini is amazing with the special effects and stuff, and I know that he worked on Creepshow, so I love everything about that movie. I love everything about both of them. The first one, I think that I liked the Where's My Cake part with the Father's Day and Amelia or whatever, and then I also liked, in the second one, my favorite was Thanks for the Ride, Lady of the Hitchhiker or whatever. I thought both of them were really creepy. I think everything about these movies are creepy, but yeah, definitely really good movie. Number 7 is going to be the movie Dead Silence. As you guys know, I love creepy dolls. I love everything about creepy dolls. I like collecting them. The first time that I seen this movie, it was just, oh god, Mary Shaw is a scary bitch. Like, Jesus Lord, she is freaky as hell. Just the way that she did that with like the people, where she killed the people and then, you know, put them into her doll or whatever and like made them talk through her doll. That was, oh my god. Like, I couldn't imagine anybody actually doing something like that, but it was really good. Really, really good. And I really enjoyed it. Okay, so number 6 on my list is going to be The Evil Dead. Now, I'm talking about the very first Evil Dead, like the very first one that they ever made and came across. Mostly because I think that the second one, when they got to the second one, I got kind of silly. Like, I don't think they're as horror in the second one and like all the others. But I thought the first one was genuinely scary. Just something about Cheryl, the way that she would be in that cellar and just be hollering stuff at those people, like, oh, everything about her was creepy. Her makeup was creepy, and just the fact that they used like very small amount of special effects says a lot about like their acting and stuff. Like, they did a really good job, and they're very, very talented. I like the remake, but not as much as I like the first, like the very first one that's ever made. Like, you can't top that. That's also a classic horror movie. I love everything about it. I could watch it a million times and it will never get old to me. Okay, so number 5 on my list is going to be Jeepers Creepers 2. I like the first Jeepers Creepers, but I'm going to say that the second one creeped me out a lot more than the first one did, just because they're all trapped in the school bus and like he comes over to the window and he licks it and stares at them. Like, that's the part that got me. And also the part where the guy that he killed in the first one was like in the field and his eyes were gone, and he was like whispering something, like he was counting down the days or something. Those parts really got to me and stuck in my head. I've always thought Jeepers Creepers was a really good horror movie, and just imagine if that thing were real. Like, I would not go outside. I would probably just live in my house and not go outside ever. What I think is so awesome about it is, like, this past year at the Dead Zone, I actually got to be in the Jeepers Creepers school bus. Yeah, in a way I got to kind of like act out the movie and pretend like I was a part of it, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, Jeepers Creepers is a really good horror movie, and I heard that they're coming out with a third one, so I definitely need to go see that whenever it comes out. My top 4 favorite horror movies of all time. Number 4 is going to be Annabelle. Of course, you guys probably already know the reason behind this. Like I said, in 2014, at the Haunted Barn, before it turned into the Dead Zone, they had me dress up as her, as Annabelle, and go to a movie theater on the opening night of that movie and walk around and scare people to sponsor the Haunted Barn and to get the word out about the Haunted Barn. And I got to do like a photo op and take pictures with people just as her and walk in the movie theater as people were watching the movie and just stand there and stare at them. And like they didn't know what the hell was going on. It was so funny. I wish I would have been recording it. But it was just like a dream come true. That's something that I've always wanted to do. And I got to do it. And that night was like all about me. So it made me feel so special. And just the fact that the movie theater people were so nice to let us watch that movie for free made it even more special. And this movie just has so many great memories behind it from that. And like I said, I love creepy dolls, and Annabelle's my girl, so I had to throw her in here somewhere. My favorite part of that movie by far was the part where the demon is climbing up the stairs, because I actually screamed in the movie theater whenever I seen that. Oh, my top 3 favorite horror movie. Number 3 would have to be The Grudge. I remember watching this with my parents and my sister when I was in like 3rd grade. I was probably about like 7 or 8 at the time. Oh my god. The first time I seen that movie, I thought I heard that woman, like that noise that she makes. I thought I heard that in my room. And I thought she was coming out from underneath my bed. And like just the fact that you can never hide from this girl. Like she appears everywhere. She can appear in your food. She can appear underneath the covers with you. She can come out of the ceiling. Like, there's no place you can hide. She is just so freaky. And like I said, the whole black long hair thing and the white dress and Japanese horror movies, like it's just, everything about it is freaky to me. And this is also a classic to me. It's always been one of my favorite. My favorite part with that movie, I definitely have to say, was like the part where she's coming through. Like they have the surveillance camera in the hallway and she's like appearing and she's coming towards the camera and she gets like really close to it and does that thing. I jumped the first time I seen that. So yeah, that's definitely my favorite part. Okay, so number 2 is Lake Mungo. I know that I say this a lot in my videos, but I really enjoyed that movie a lot. It's kind of like a mockumentary type deal, and I'm pretty sure that it came out right around the time that Paranormal Activity first came out. And I remember comparing that movie to that, and I was like, Paranormal Activity is okay, don't get me wrong, but it's not like my favorite horror movie of all time. Everyone was saying that Paranormal Activity was so freaky, and like, if you've seen it, you wouldn't want to stay home by yourself. And I watched that movie, and honestly, it did not make me so scared that I didn't want to stay home alone. And then I seen the Lake Mungo movie. Oh my god. A million times more freakier and scarier. I think that this is a Australian horror movie. Like, this is where this movie was first made and everything. And again, she had long black hair. And they showed like pictures of her after she drowned in the lake, and it was so like gruesome, the pictures were, and they were so gruesome that they creeped you out. And just like the ghosty images that would appear of her, and like whenever she walked towards herself, like I was afraid to be home alone by myself with this movie because I was afraid that I was gonna see my doppelganger. Like, not gonna lie, this movie freaked me out, and I could watch it a million times and it will never get old to me. Like, I think that they did a wonderful job with this, especially being on such a low budget like they were. But yeah, that girl, whew, child, you definitely need to go find that movie and watch it if you can. It's so freaky. Okay, so my number 1 favorite horror movie of all time, you gotta get ready for this, is A Nightmare on Elm Street. Like I said, this was my first horror movie that I can remember ever really watching. I would have nightmares, I've said this before in my videos, but I would have nightmares of Freddy actually like standing in my house staring at me smiling, and I would see his shadow going across the ceiling, and I honestly thought that he was going to come in my sleep and kill me. Because I would watch these movies with my parents, and like it would just it would honestly give me nightmares. I just think that he's my favorite, like, slasher horror movie character that's out there. I love them all, don't get me wrong, but Freddy is definitely my favorite just because he has some personality to him, and his makeup's really creepy, and so is his claw and his sweater and his hat. Just, he's creepy. But yeah, and that was like, I think that was Johnny Depp's first movie that he ever played in, so that's also a really cool thing because Johnny Depp is like one of the most best actors that's out there, and that part when he sucks him into the bed with the blood going everywhere, like, that was my favorite part, I think. So yeah, those were my top 10 plus 3 favorite horror movies of all time. I definitely have many, many more, but those are the ones that were the most memorable to me and the ones that I seem to have watched a lot more. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you've seen any of these movies and enjoyed them and what your favorite horror movies are. And I will definitely be making more of these, like, top 10 favorite movie whatever videos very, very soon. So let me know which ones you would like for me to make. If you would like me to make Disney ones or like favorite paranormal shows, I was actually thinking about doing that. And just different things like that. And anything you can think of that you think that I might enjoy, just leave me a comment and let me know. And yeah, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time. Anything you can think of that you think that